Welcome back to the final segment of our special series on electromagnetism. We are continuing our comprehensive wrap-up, aiming to empower you with in-depth knowledge and awareness. By the end of this series, you'll be more educated and less susceptible to societal denial and stigma.
That's right, Joanna. We have covered a lot so far. Now we are going to delve into the societal stigma and mental hurdles that prevent acceptance of directed energy weapons, DEWs. Let's dive into this topic with Ruth. Ruth, we need to expand on the societal stigma and mental hurdles preventing the acceptance of DEWs. What are the psychological barriers to understanding, and how can we overcome them?
The psychological barriers preventing acceptance of DEWs are multifaceted. They include cognitive dissonance, trust in regulatory systems, media portrayal, and societal comfort zones. Let's break these down.
Let's start with cognitive dissonance and comfort zones.
Many people find it difficult to reconcile the existence of DEWs with their belief in a stable and orderly world. This cognitive dissonance leads them to dismiss the possibility that average citizens could possess and use such technology. People rely on codified knowledge, which provides a sense of security. Accepting that DEWs can be in the hands of common people challenges this sense of security, leading to resistance and denial.
So people are comfortable believing that only sophisticated entities can have such technology, which makes them dismiss the reality.
Exactly. Then there's trust in regulatory systems. There's a general trust in regulatory bodies and law enforcement to prevent the development and misuse of dangerous technologies. People assume that if DEWs were a real threat, authorities would control and mitigate them effectively. But regulatory bodies often control the dissemination of information about advanced technologies to prevent misuse and public panic. This suppression contributes to public ignorance and skepticism.
And what about the role of media in this?
Media portrayal is significant. DEWs are often depicted in science fiction and conspiracy theories, which diminishes their perceived legitimacy. This portrayal makes it difficult for people to take real-world threats seriously. Plus, media outlets may avoid covering stories about DEWs due to their controversial nature and the difficulty of providing concrete evidence. This lack of coverage reinforces ignorance and denial.
So societal comfort zones also play a role?
Absolutely. The notion that individuals would intentionally use DEWs for harassment is morally and ethically troubling. This disbelief creates a mental barrier, as people do not want to accept that such malevolent intentions exist. Many prefer to believe in a world where such technologies are tightly controlled and regulated, avoiding the discomfort of acknowledging potential misuse by ordinary individuals.
What strategies can we use to overcome these barriers and educate the public?
Public education campaigns are crucial. We should increase awareness about the principles of electromagnetism and its potential misuse through educational initiatives. These campaigns should aim to bridge the gap between scientific knowledge and public understanding.
And what role does media engagement play in this?
Media engagement is vital. Encouraging media outlets to cover DEWs accurately, avoiding sensationalism, and focusing on factual information is important. Featuring experts in RF engineering and electromagnetism can provide credible insights and clarify misconceptions.
How about community outreach and support for victims?
Organizing workshops and seminars where experts can discuss DEWs, their potential misuse, and safety measures is essential. Integrating information about DEWs into educational curriculums to raise awareness from a young age can also make a big difference. Establishing support networks for victims of DEW attacks, providing them with safe channels to report incidents, and receiving mental health support is crucial. Legislative advocacy to push for laws that specifically address the possession and misuse of DEWs is also necessary to ensure effective enforcement and penalties.
Thank you, Ruth, for discussing the societal stigma and mental hurdles preventing acceptance of DEWs and proposing strategies for overcoming these barriers. In our next interview, Joanna will be with Brian to provide a detailed explanation of how DEWs work, addressing the challenges in public acceptance, and proposing strategies for educating the public.
Stay tuned as we continue our comprehensive exploration in this final segment of our series. Remember, by the end of this series, you'll be more educated and not at the mercy of societal denial and stigma.
In the next segment, Matthew and I will be joined by Brian and Ruth to discuss the cycle of destruction enabled by disbelief, the challenges in controlling DEWs, and strategies for preventing their proliferation and raising awareness. Stay with us.